Good morning everyone, it's Sunday. We're going to be doing some stretches today. What I've prepared is a few blend of yoga and basic core stretches to try and get you moving, see if there's any pain that we can deal with throughout your neck, shoulders, hips and spine. So might be a bit of a one size fits all, but you can have a play around with things, see what works for you, see what feels tight, and maybe through doing these 4 stretches or combination movements you can find a problem that needs to be looked at more in the future. Okay, so first of all, you don't need any equipment, just need your mat or your space that you're going to move into. So I'm just going to come around to the side here. Okay, we're going to start off with a simple lunge, which then moves into a side bend. So I took a nice long step, I'm just going to lunge down, rest this hand on my knee, raise a hand up, and I'm going to pull it across to the side. I know you can just about see the top of my hand. I'm going to hold this stretch for around 10 seconds. You might feel you want to do this for more, 10, 15, 20. But this is a really good stretch for getting into this area here, the obliques and things that are in here, and the lats too. I'm going to come back up and swap sides. Just the same again, hand down for balance, roll the hand up and bend. Just about see the top of my hand again this time. You can only go as far as you can go. So don't worry if there's not much of a bend. I didn't feel as much of a bend on the right side compared to the left. So maybe this, I'm feeling tightness just in here. So it's a really good stretch in here. Please do all of these stretches twice over. I'm just gonna do them once over for the sake of the video, but please do them twice over. Next, we're going to move into a downward dog that moves into a cobra position. So a downward dog shape, just like usual. We'll spend 10 seconds in here. Nice and straight, trying to move your heels back down to the floor. There's your 10 seconds. Now to move forwards, slowly drop down to the ground and push your body weight up, and our head disappeared there into a cobra position. Again, we'll do this for 10 seconds and move it back the way. There's about your 10. So hook your feet back under, push all the way up and back to a downward dog position. I'm just going to hold it for 10. I'll do this one twice. I think the lunge one was easier. Rock forward, slowly drop down, allow your weight to touch, unhook your feet and push up into that cobra position. It might feel uncomfortable in your lower back, so just be careful with how much you arch yourself backwards if you're not used to doing this one. Okay, number 3, I'm just going to come across to the side a bit more. So we might have touched these before in a different video, but we're going to do cat and cow pose. So a cat pose is arching your back forward. So you're like tucking your back like up the way, pointing it to the sky, locking out the arms. And to move into the cow pose, we're going to allow the hips to bend up. And I can't really go very far in this one. Hopefully more flexible people can do a better job, but it shows tightness throughout my spine, maybe, or my hips. And we'll move back the way. You can hold these for 5 to 10 seconds at a time. Should be really helpful for any sort of, to maybe strengthen your spine, remove any tension in your neck or shoulders or hips. You can just play around with how it feels. I always feel like on the cow pose I've got nowhere to go, but I'm trying to turn my hips down the way and move my shoulders up the way. Okay, number 3, on to the last one, nice and quick today. And one that I've used a lot to do with sciatic pain or pain through the glutes and down the hips. A twisting crocodile stretch. Now I never knew what it was called before today, I've always just sort of done it. So you're going to need to lie back, my arms here are flat on the ground. I'm straightening one leg and I'm just twisting over the way. I'm not really sure why it's called a crocodile, maybe it must look like it somehow. And we're just going to hold this stretch. This is probably one to do a bit longer, 20 to 30 seconds on each side. And as I'm doing it, I'm just trying to let go of my core a little bit to allow gravity to pull this knee down the way. We can do the same on the other side. Straight leg, knee up, and twist. This side is always my weaker side. I always struggle to twist around. I feel like my arm is desperate to come off the ground. So now this time I'm trying to really keep this arm down to the floor. I'm trying to get as long a twist as I can do. Just like that. Okay, that's nice and quick, but I'd like to try and do them all twice the way through, holding for the lunge and the side bend 10 to 20 seconds. Downward dog to Cobra, you can probably do 5 to 10 at each movement, do it twice through. The cat to cow pose again, 5 to 10. Do this a few times, maybe you want to do that 3 to 5 times in a row. And the twisting crocodile stretch, if you can hit 20 to 30 seconds on that, you should get a really good stretch. That's a lot, especially from the hips. You can do some work through the shoulders as well too, so it's a really good choice for core stretching. Give them all a whirl, see how you feel. If there's any pain problems that show up, please send me a message and ask about it. I'm going to try and use these movements again in next week's strength video, which I think will be on Wednesday, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. We're going to do them again, but try and throw some progressions in there to really add strength at the same time as getting these stretches. Have a nice Sunday, and I'll speak to you again soon.